Garbage, you know, rotting out here, human excrement, syringes. I mean, it was just a very unhealthy place to be. And yet, in a very intimate kind of proximity to the residents of this part of our neighborhood. The Tenderloin National Forest as an idea began as a throwaway space in the middle of San Francisco's Tenderloin district. A group of artists and residents decided that fertile things could happen in a place like Cohen Alley. It took 10 years before we were able to actually get permission to vacate the alley. Commission an artist, a local artist, Kevin Leeper, to make a sculptured gate for it, to, you know, initially secure it for the 300 odd people that live around this alley and the 4 buildings collectively. Michael Swain, about 8 years ago, started this project called the Roving Tailor. He found an old sewing machine, like turn-of-the-century sewing machine, refurbished it, built a cart for it, and started moving throughout the city sewing for people. And we sort of invited him to like maybe set up in one spot. And we suggested Cohen Alley as that place. Brett Cook Disney, also Bay Area based. Bounce did this one piece, this woman with the flower in her hair. Kuba's a graffiti artist. Graph is his life and is still very active in and around the city and Bay Area at large. It's an honor to have his work here.
My name is Johanna Pothe. Johanna Pothe, yeah. This project came up, and so I thought of painting these guardians. And then I made this little one on the end with youth here, which is the shrine to the guardians. There's a little piece right on the end, and I made that with youth from Vietnamese Youth Development Center. And power is the face of the people.
I love that.
That's a text that they came up with. And then we put little sayings and photos of them in there, and we have an altar with fruit, and, you know. So it's like a shrine to the guardians, and there's the or a shrine to the alley, really. And you know, it was open. There was no gate, and I had people working with me, and it was wild. This alley was pretty wild. But the people in the building were very protective of us if anybody started to hassle us. So it was a beautiful experience, and I'm so excited to see like how, you know, it continues to grow and be so beautiful, and all the work that Daryl and everybody's put into it.
Right now, our forest has been kind of impacted with like 10 tons of stone and rock from Portugal. We applied for a creative work fund through the Haas Family Fund. It's a program through Walter and Elise Haas. It's a project called Cultural Geometry, conceived of by Rigo 23. It has a lot to do with who he is as an artist, one of the most prominent public artists in all of the Bay Area. Working with a stonemason from the Lisbon area in Portugal. Was very interested in developing this dialogue between where he comes from and his culture and the culture of the Tenderloin, and reaching back to who the original people were, who were the Ohlone in this area.
Yeah, I think that, you know, what Daryl's been trying to do here for a long time is to make this a special place, you know, different alley, a different type of urban space. And this is just one more contribution to it. And the design that will be on the sidewalk will be based on a Ohlone basket design. The hummingbird is considered by many cultures to be somewhat of a magical bird. And that's one of the, I remember vividly when Daryl first told me that there was a hummingbird that was coming through. I was like, no way. And turns out it plays a big role in Ohlone mythology. Fernando, he had never seen one. So one day we're here and this hummingbird came through and he just hang out for the longest freaking time, you know? He said it was like 10 minutes. It probably was 2, but it felt like that, you know? And I think more than half of the hummingbird's weight is heart. called Porto de Mós. In this village, there's still a nice stretch of a Roman road, like 2,000 and some year old road that's still there. So stone has been taken out of those mountains for a very long time. Fernando's father was a stonemason, and his son is a stonemason. And I found out last night that his grandfather actually broke stone, not for this type of work, but for different ends.
I feel like this process that I got involved with other artists and residents in emerging this Tenderloin National Forest and how we refer to it today, is that it's like this concentric activity, like where the beginning is the end, is the beginning, is it just keeps rippling out. Where I see it going is how it becomes completely sort of absorbed by the people who live in the presence of this space. And I feel like the way we designed it was so that there could be continually new expressions made here, different ways in which to engage an ecosystem that is burgeoning. Through the emergence of an artist in residence program at 509 Ellis, we're being able now to increase the hours of accessibility in the alley. The public has access here to check in and just to be in the space, to get involved through the week, through the day hours of the week, 12 to 5, Monday through Saturday.